forces try and force your body down into the airplane, so that it's a force that you experience when you turn sideways or make a 90-degree turn in a car. When it pushes you sideways on an airplane, we roll the airplane onto its side before initiating the turn, so all the force is pushed down into the seat. Now, right now, we're under 1G, so if I weigh 200 pounds now at 1G, at 7.5 G, which I'm typically pulling in the airplane, I weigh 1,500 pounds in that seat. So typically your head, which is 20 pounds under 7G, would be 140 pounds. So trying to balance 140 pounds on your thin neck is a lot of work. So we wear a suit, and that suit helps us to fight that G by squeezing tightly onto our legs and onto our tummy, restricting the blood flow into the lower part of the body, allowing you to keep pumping that blood into the brain and keeping conscious, because it only takes 3 seconds lack of blood flow to the brain to get lightheaded.
At 25 to 30 degrees, nose-up attitude, this gentleman is flying this aircraft on instruments and only the peripheral vision that he can get from the left or right side of that aircraft. I'm going to let you listen to Bob right now in the cockpit. Okay, sir, the crowd is listening to you as you bring this gorgeous aircraft in right now at this slow 105. That was Bob Wade's voice from the cockpit of that beautiful airplane. As he brings it.
Probably single most remarkable thing about the CF-18 is that everything is operated by computer, so that as you develop new changes in technology, you have the capacity to put those new changes into the airplane without buying expensive hardware. I feel very privileged to be selected to fly the F-18. Being up there, being able to roll your aircraft 2 rolls in 1 second, being able to pitch the nose of that airplane at 28 degrees per second, at the same time yawing it up to 25 degrees per second, tremendous tumbling sensation, a tremendous thrill.
And the color and just the excitement of seeing them so close and the power behind them.
Together on a turn to the left, coming back different colors on the planes and how they did the stunts.
It's really
fabulous. The stress they put on those aircraft is just fantastic.
Well, that's pretty spectacular.
I can't see how they can do it.
Yeah, they were terrific. I like them the best.
Totally awesome.
again in diamond and out of the loop split in two sections. But watch the solo. It will come into the break point. Operation going into diamond again. Quite soon, white smokes. And coming out of the loop, split in two sections. The horizontal brake. While the solo comes in the middle of the brake point to execute a tail slide or a whip stall. Watch the MB339, a unique jet capable of doing this kind of maneuver. Stay to a stop, and it fleet out of the leader and execute a simultaneous roll. Both sections then will depart for two different loops. Here they go. Rolling. This is our entry loop. The aircraft are reached now. Coming up for the cardio wet. The brake of the formation will then be coming from the right to get in the middle of the brake point. Let's watch the 9 aircraft going in 9 different directions and the solo coming in the middle. It's really tumbling. And Lapshovak in Czechoslovakian language means landing lights on. With the color of our flag, the Italian flag that we proudly brought here in Abbotsford. The pilots never had a chance to see you before, but now they can see you. You can wave at them.